Hello and welcome to my French class. Bonjour et bienvenue à mon cours de français. In today's class, we're going to learn numbers. In French, you can say les chiffres or you can say les numéros. They both mean the numbers. Les chiffres, however, is the most correct way of saying it. But again, you can also say les numéros. Everyone will understand that it means numbers. So, commençons avec les chiffres 1 à 10. So, let's start with the numbers 1 to 10. In French, it is important to learn the numbers at least 1 to 20 by heart because they will repeat throughout the systematic learning of the numbers. So 1 to 10 is important, but 1 to 20 is even more important. Back in the days, the French used to count per 20 and not per 10 like we do today. So they have a mixture of per 10 and per 20. So again, 1 to 20 is really important, and the rest you'll systematically learn and it will be easy. So let's start. Okay, so I'm going to put on the screen the way you write it and the way you pronounce it, because writing it and pronouncing it are two different things. So the way that you should pronounce it, that's how I will write it. So again, go with the tone of my voice because letters can just do so much. I can mimic it as much as possible with letters. However, the best way to learn is just to repeat after me and pronounce the way I pronounce it. Because again, writing this in an Anglophone way of how you should pronounce it can be tricky. So some letters might be off, but I'm still putting it on the screen so that you have an idea of how to pronounce it. So let's start. Zéro, zero. So zéro, zéro. For one, un. So not une, because now we're counting. It's not a question of is it a feminine, is it a masculine? We're counting. Un. And remember, numbers fall in the category masculine. Un. Deux. Two is deux. Trois. Trois. Quatre. Quatre. Cinq. Cinq. Six. Six. Sept. Sept. Huit. Huit. This one's a little tricky. So it's not huit, it's not huit, it's huit. Huit. My students have a little trouble with that one usually. Neuf. Neuf. Dix. Dix. So, zéro, un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf, dix. So enjoy repeating that a couple times. So, zéro, un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf, dix. Zéro, un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf, dix. Now we're going to go from 10 to 20. So dix, onze. It's very, very similar to Spanish. It's not once, but it's onze. Douze. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm going to repeat that. 10. So 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17. So you see 10 and 7, 10 and 7, 17, 18, 10 and 8. So you can add it together. It's a mathematical formula. 18, 19 for 19, 19, and then 20. So from 17 to 19 inclusively, it's a mathematical formula. So you're adding 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9 for it to do 17, 18, and 19. But the rest, you have to memorize. So 11 is not like that. It's not 10 et 1. 12 either. It's not like that. 13, 14, 15, 16. These will be memorization. So again, 1 to 20, try to memorize it, because after that, these will be repetitive. Okay, so next, counting 10 in French. So we went over 10, 10, 20 for 20. So 20, 20, it's a little nasally, huh? 20, 30 for 30. So 30, 40 for 40, 40, 50 for 50, 50, 60, that's for 60, 60 for 60. Now again, a little trick, 70, 60 and a 10. 60 and 10, 10. So 60 and 10. 60, 10. Then you have 80. So 80 is 4, 20. So 4 times 20 is 80. So the way you say 80 is 80. So 4, 20, 4, 20, 4, 20. That's your 80 right there. So 80. Then 90 is 90. So 4 times 20 and you add a 10. So again, it's mathematical. It's super old school. They did change the numbers with time. So not everything is calculated in the 20s. Apparently, when they used to say 70, it was also calculated. So they changed that to 70. 80 stays the same, so 4 times 20, and then 90 is 4 times 20, or 4 and 20 and 10. So 90, 4 times 20, and then 10 is your 90. So again, 10, repeat after me, this is fun. 10, I can't hear you, so it's okay. You can make a mistake, I won't know. But make sure you repeat after me and then just practice. And if it sounds like me, great. And if it doesn't, just rewind rewind the video so that you can see how it's pronounced. So again, 10 for 10, 20 for 20, 30 for 30, 40 for 40, 50 for 50, 60 for 60, 70, so 70, 60 and a 10 is 70, 70 is 70, 80, 4 times 20, 80 is 80, and 90 is 4 times 20 and a 10. So 90. And then you have 100. 100 is 100. So 100. So note the numbers 21 and over up until 69, you have 20, 21. Then after 21, it's all hyphens. So again, numbers between 21 and 69, you will have hyphens after the first number. So as an example, 20 is 20, 21 is 20 and 1, 22 is 20 and a 2. So you hyphen 20 hyphen 2 is 22, 23, 20 hyphen 3, 24, 20 hyphen 4, 25, 20 hyphen 5, 26, 20 hyphen 6, 27, 20 hyphen 7, 28, 20 hyphen 8, 29, 20 hyphen 9. So then you have 30, 30, 31 for 31, so 30 and 1. But again, when it comes to 32, it's not 30 and 2, it's a hyphen. So 32, 33, 33. Canadians, French Canadians say 33. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, all hyphen, 40. Then you have 41, again you 40 and you add a 1, 42 hyphen, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Then 50, it's 50. And again, 51, you add 1 to 50. 51, A is end. Should have said that in the beginning of the video, but A is end. So 51, 52, 50 and hyphen 2, 53, 50 and hyphen 3, 54, 50 and hyphen 4, 55, 50 and hyphen 5, 56, 50 and hyphen 6, 57, 50 and hyphen 7, 58. So liaison there, 58. So it's not tuit, but the liaison makes you say tuit. So 58, but 58, 59, 60. So again, 52 to 59, hyphen. And then 60, 60, 61. So again, 60 and 1. 62, 60 hyphen 2. 63, 60 hyphen 3. 64, 60 hyphen 4. 65, 60 hyphen 5. 66, 60 hyphen 6. 67, 60 hyphen 7. 68, 60 hyphen 8. 69, 60 hyphen 9. Then you have 70. For 71, it's different. It's not 70 and 1. It's going to be 71. So 60 and 11. 60 and et 11. 71. 71. That's 71. So 70. 71. However, when it comes to 72 hyphen, you don't say a anymore. So 72. 73 hyphen. So 60 and a 13 hyphen, separated by hyphen. 74, 60 and a 14, separated by a hyphen. 75, so 60 and hyphen 15 for 75. So again, this is mathematical. 76, 77, 78, 79, 80.
81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90.
And then same thing with 90, same systematical approach that we used for 70. So in this case, it's going to be 90. So 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and then 100, like we saw earlier. So again, 70 and 90 have the same approach to the countdown. 20 to 69 has the same approach to countdown. And 1 to 20 is memorization so that you can use these approaches and the later numbers like we just did.
101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110. Then for 200 is 200. So you simply put the number before 100. So if it's 1, it's 100. 2, 200. 3, 300. 4, 400. So for 200, it's 200, 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, and so on and so forth with 300, 300, 301, 302, 303, 400, 401, 402, 403, 500, 501, 502, 503, 600, 601, 602, 603, 700, 701, 702, 703, 800, 801, 802, 803, 900, 901, 902, 903, and fill in the blanks.
Now for 1,000. So 1000 is 1,000. So 1,000 is 1,000. So if you just say 1000, it's 1,000. And then 1,000, 1,000. 2,000, 2,000. But for 1000, you do not put an S at the end of 1000. You do when it comes to 100. You do when it comes to million, like millions. But 1,000, you don't. So 1,000 is written the same way as 2,000, the mille I'm talking about, not the deux part. But the mille is only with an E at the end. You don't add an S. So again, 1,000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000, 7000, 8000, 9000, 10,000. I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast. I've counted all my life. Even when I'm speaking in English and I'm counting in French in my head. So I'll go a bit slower. 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000, 7000, 8000, 9000, and then 10,000. 10,000. In Montreal we say 10,000, but 10,000. So again, very straightforward. You just add the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you count till 10, and then you just add the mille next to it, and that'll give you the number of thousands you have. Pretty straightforward when it comes to thousands, but just don't forget, do not add an S. It's mille, and it's written one way. Then, after 10, you have 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, and then 1 million. 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, 800,000, 900,000, 1 million. Okay, so after 1 million, it's the same thing as in English. So 1 million, 1 million, 1 billion, 1 billion, 1 trillion, 1 trillion. So the way you pronounce it is 1 million, 2 millions. It sounds like mignon, cute, but no, it's million. 2 millions, 3 millions, 4 millions, right? Then 1 billion, 2 billions, 3 billions, 4 billions, 5 billions, and so forth. And then 1 trillion, 2 trillions, 3 trillions, 4 trillions, 5 trillions, and so forth. So very straightforward, and it's mathematical. So again, you memorize 1 to 10, 1 to 20, because both of these you're going to use when it comes to the future. Okay, so now that we have the numbers, how do you tell time? So when it comes to telling time, remember how you ask a question? Est-ce que tu as l'heure? Est-ce que tu as l'heure? Do you have the time? And then you're going to say, oui, oui j'ai l'heure. Yes, I have the time. And then I can say, quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Quelle heure est-il? Est-ce que t'as l'heure? Quelle heure est-il? And then, that's where you can say, il est 1 heure, il est 2 heures, il est 3 heures, il est 4 heures, fill in the blank, il est 5 heures, il est 6 heures. So, il est, it is. What time is it? It is. Il est. That's how you tell time. However, we're going to go into detail. So, the morning is matin. So, il est 2 heures du matin. It is 2 in the morning. Il est 2 heures du matin. That would be for the morning. De l'après-midi would be the afternoon. So, il est 2 heures de l'après-midi. So, now it's not the morning. It's the afternoon. It's 2 in the afternoon. Il est 2 heures de l'après-midi. You can also say il est 14 heures. So, il est 14 heures. That's how you say 2 p.m. automatically. So, you don't have to say in the afternoon if you say il est 14 heures. If you say 14, they'll know that you're talking about the afternoon. But let's say you want to say 2 in the afternoon, you can also say il est 2 heures de l'après-midi. Then you can say il est 5 heures le soir. Let's say it is 5 o'clock in the evening. Il est 5 heures le soir. So soir, soirée is evening. So matin, morning. Après-midi, afternoon. Soir, evening. And nuit is night. So nuit is night. So you have bon matin, but we don't say bon matin. It's more customary to say bonjour, so good day, even though if it is the morning and you just woke up. So up to you. If you say bon matin, they'll still understand what you mean. It means good morning. And then bonjour, good day. Bon après-midi, good afternoon. Bonne soirée, good evening. Bonne nuit, good night. So, bon matin, bonjour, rather. Bon après-midi. Bonne soirée. Bonne nuit. Now for the meals, we have breakfast, which is in Montreal. So I'm going to say the difference here. Purely same language. I say trois, it's trois. So it's the same language as you can see. Just the pronunciation is a little bit different. So it's not like the dialect is so different that we don't understand each other. Yes, we do. You should be able to understand each other. When I go to France, I understand everything, even if they have a slightly different pronunciation than I do. But it's slightly different. However, this is different, and this you should know. So in Montreal, déjeuner is breakfast. Dîner is lunch. Souper is supper. So déjeuner, dîner, souper. That's if you go to Montreal and you go to Canada, you want to go have breakfast, you say, on va aller déjeuner. However, if you're in France, you don't do that. In France, breakfast is petit déjeuner. It's small breakfast. So petit déjeuner. Then their lunch is déjeuner. So their déjeuner is lunch. And this is confusing for somebody that's from Montreal because now I think I'm having breakfast, but I'm having lunch, right? So it's good to know. It's definitely good to know the difference. So again, in France, petit déjeuner is the breakfast. Déjeuner is the lunch. And dîner is supper time. So petit déjeuner is breakfast. Déjeuner is lunch, and dîner is supper time. So, Montreal, déjeuner is breakfast, dîner is lunch, and souper is supper. It's important. Why not know? Now you know how both places or both locations call their meals. Okay, so how do you say quarter past? Quarter past, when it comes to time, it's et quart. So you add a quarter. So et quart is quarter past. Quarter to is moins le quart. But again, if you say it fast, you can just hear moins quart. I say just moins quart. I don't say moins le quart, but you can say moins le quart or moins quart. So et quart is quarter past. Quarter to, moins quart, so minus 15. So plus 15, quarter past. Minus 15, quarter to. So moins quart. Moins is minus. A is plus. Plus is plus. But A is end. So technically when you say something and something, you're adding them together. So écart and moins quart. Then you have and a half, et demi. So demi is half of something. So et demi, and a half. So that's how you say, let's say 2:30. You can say 2h30, or you can say 2h30. But you can also say 2h30. Most common will just say 2h30. It's quicker and it's, everyone knows what it is. So 2h30 for 30 minutes after the time. Une demi-heure is 30 minutes. So when will you be ready? Let's say I'm asking you a question. When will you be ready? You can turn around and say dans une demi-heure. Dans une demi-heure. In 30 minutes. So you can't say et demi, and a half. I don't know what's in a half. Is it an hour and a half, 2 hours and a half? But you would have to say une demi-heure. So une demi-heure is une demi-heure. 1 half hour. So une heure, an hour is feminine. So because you're saying 1 hour, une heure, but an hour, so you link it as a une heure to say an hour. Il est tôt, it is early. Il est tôt, it is early. Il est tard, it is late. Il est tard, it is late. And il est minuit, it is midnight. So you can say minuit, midnight. And then midi is noon. So minuit, midi. Midnight and noontime, midi. So little tricks here and there to know. So now you have the numbers. You have how to tell time. You can practice until you get it right and it sounds right. And what I decided to do is I decided to just include a little glimpse of a few things I think you should know. So, les jours de la semaine, the days of the week. Les jours de la semaine. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. So again, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. One last time, 3 times the charm. So les jours de la semaine, I'll repeat it one last time. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. You know, it's samedi, but it's not samedi. It's written samedi, but the way you say it is samedi, dimanche. So it's not just my accent. That's how it is. So one last time. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, et dimanche. Now for the months, les mois de l'année, for the months of the year, so janvier for January, janvier, février for February, février, mars for March, Mars, like the planet Mars, but it's Mars for March, avril, like Avril Lavigne, but avril for April, mai for May, May, juin for June. So this one's a little tricky. Juin, you can say juin, juin for June, juillet for July, juillet, juillet for July, août for August, août. So I know it's written out, but you don't say out, you say août. So August is août. Septembre for September, septembre, septembre for September, octobre for October, octobre, novembre for November, novembre, décembre for December. So it's not décembre, it's décembre. R-E at the end, not E-R, so décembre. That's the difference between English and French. So décembre, and then back to janvier, January. So janvier, février, mars, avril, mai, juin, juillet, août, septembre, octobre, novembre, décembre. Now the seasons, les saisons. L'été for summer. l'automne for autumn, l'hiver for winter, printemps for spring. So let me say it in order. Printemps, spring, l'été, summer, l'automne, autumn, and l'hiver, winter. So again, it's not le hiver, it's l'hiver. It's not le été, it's l'été, right? And then le printemps and l'automne. Not l'automne, but l'automne. Those are the 4 seasons. So one last time. Le printemps, l'été, l'automne, l'hiver. Truc des homophones. So now I'm just going to give you a little trick on how to distinguish les homophones. So what are homophones again? We saw it in previous classes. It's when 2 words are written the same way, but they mean 2 different things. Or they're written slightly, one has an accent, the other one doesn't have an accent, but again, spelled the same way and mean something completely different. So the one that we've seen the most common is ou and ou, not the month of août, but I'm talking about ou, and ou with a backward slash. So ou is one or the other. Ou with a backward slash on top of the u means where. So same thing with la. So la and la, you have la, like la table or la chaise. You're basically specifying something you're talking about. So la chaise, la table, or le bureau. So the le and the la, these are the articles, the determinants. So you're determining an object. In this case, la chaise. And then you have LA with a backward slash on top of the A. That's là-bas. Where? Là-bas. You're pointing, just like the OU, to a location. So là-bas, that là that you're talking about has a backward slash on top of the I. So where are you going? À la maison. So a with a backward slash is different than just the a. J'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez. That's the verb avoir. So if you just have an a by itself, that's a verb. I have. J'ai, tu as, il a. But if you have an a with a backward slash, that's where you're going. À la maison. I'm going to the house. À la maison. So again, it's a location. So anything that has to do with a location, où, where, over there, là-bas, where you're going, à la maison, to the house. All of these have a backward slash on top to determine, to let you know that it's a location and not, I'm not talking about an object, not talking about la souris in this case, let's say, right? So a little trick for homophone. So do you say ça or ça? So C-A, C with a C-D, because don't forget, if you just write C-A as ca, like caca, but we're not talking about that, we're talking about ça. So C-A, again, ça. Now you have S-A. Remember S-A? So what's the difference between C-A and S-A? C-A is when you're determining, and then you have S-A, which is possessive. Sa souris, that's his. It's his mouse. Sa souris, right? Sa, son, remember that one? Son bureau, his desk. Let's say it's my desk, but let's say it's somebody's desk, his desk. Son bureau, right? Sa souris. So when it's possessive, it belongs to somebody. It's an S. And when you're pointing out sa, then it's C. So it can be very confusing and very tricky because they're all written the same way. But if it's an S, possessive, that brings me to the next point. How do you know if it's C-E-S or S-E-S? Ces livres. I'm talking about these books over here, let's say. Ces livres. Right? And then you have ses livres, his books, or her books. These are his books or her books. So then it's an S. But if I'm saying these books right here, it doesn't belong to anybody. Let's say I'm just pointing them out. Then it's C. So again, C is used when you're pointing something out. S is used when it's personal. So no matter if it's ça, son, or c'est, these are all personal. And ce, ça, c'est with the C is impersonal, is just, it belongs to these, like these books, this mouse. It doesn't belong to anybody, it's just I'm pointing them out as a demonstration. So ce or ce, CE or SE. Trick question, you should know this now. So ce, or SE, which is again possessive. An example, ce garçon ne se lave jamais. So what does that mean? Ce garçon ne se lave jamais. This boy doesn't wash himself, never washes himself. So this boy never washes himself. So ce garçon would be CE, because I'm talking about this boy right here, is never washing himself. Se lave jamais. So that one is SE. So CE versus SE, again, se lave jamais, he's talking about himself, it's possessive. And when you're saying ce garçon, cette fille, then it's a C. So C apostrophe or S apostrophe? C apostrophe or S apostrophe? So is it or it is? So how do you say it is in French? C'est. So you have the verb is. Je suis, tu es, il est, right? est, il est. But if you want to say it is, then you'll say c'est. C'est, because you don't say ce est. Ce est, like this is. You don't say ce est, you say c'est with a C, because you're talking about something that it is. However, if it's S apostrophe, and then a verb, it's talking about itself. So as an example, comme c'est beau. How it's nice. Comme c'est beau. That one is C, apostrophe EST, the verb être, to be. So C, because it is nice. Quand il s'éclaire. When it brightens itself. So you can say that in French, when it's bright outside. You can say when it's brightening itself. So, quand il s'éclaire. So he is, or it is clearing itself out. It's becoming bright. So because it's s'éclaire, it's talking about itself. When it's talking about itself, it's possessive. It's an S apostrophe in this case. So again, S apostrophe because it starts with an E. You don't say ce éclaire. You don't say ce est beau. So you say c'est beau, s'éclaire. And C, E, ce, for when you're pointing something out. And SE, or S apostrophe, when you're talking about possessive. So I can't emphasize this enough. You'll get the hang of it. C, point out. S, possessive. Belongs to somebody. C'est une fille, let's say. It is a girl. C'est une fille. You don't say ce est une fille. C'est une fille. You can say elle s'est assise. So elle s'est assise, she sat down. Elle s'est assise. She sat herself down. That's how you would say the translation. Elle s'est assise. She sat herself down. So because she sat herself down, it's an S apostrophe EST with the verb to be, not C. So she sat herself down. Elle s'est assise. Assise because she's a girl. So assise, elle s'est assise. And S apostrophe EST is the way you would write the C because it's possessive. These are little tricks here. And then CET or CETTE, that one we saw. One's masculine, the other one's feminine. Very straightforward. So pop quiz, how would you say or write regarde ces zèbres? Look at these zebras. How would you write ces? Look at these zebras. I hope you said si. So, c'est. However, if it's his or her zebras, regarde ces zèbres. Oh, il est chanceux. How lucky he is to have these zebras, let's say, right? So then it would be an S. So a little trick. There's plenty of other words like this, but these are the ones that you use the most common. There's plenty of other words that, a bit more complicated words, longer words, bigger words that you use less rarely, like more rarely, but you don't use as often. However, they're written the same way. They just mean two different things. So these are just a little brief review that I'm throwing, including with the numbers, so that you don't miss out on how to say it is the proper way. So next class should be fun. It's going to be a bunch of images I'm going to throw at you, and I'm going to let you know how to say those words in French. So we'll go over family trees, how do you say uncle, aunt. We'll go over restaurant ordering. We'll go over traveling, colors. We'll go over some colors. And that should be fun. I'll just pick a bunch of pages from the dictionary, the visual dictionary, and we'll go over them together. So I look forward to having you in the next class. I hope you enjoyed today's class. It was quite simple, but again, it's memorization, so practice with the numbers, practice with the pronunciation, and the homophones, little tricks that I gave you for the homophones, as they can get tricky with time. You'll get better, but in the beginning, they will get tricky, as you won't know if it's C or S, but now you do, because you watched this video. So thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, et à la prochaine.